This is OXDF looking at another one of the RunCode challenges from last week. This time, after just getting my butt kicked in the last video by comma somewhat separated values, I'm going to take on hopefully an easy one, hopefully a quick one, and XML is the new hotness. Famous last words. We'll see how it goes. So our scrappy intern wanted well, not exactly sure what that means, but went nuts with a hidden flag inside a large XML file. You can parse the XML and piece the flag together. It's safe to assume the backend dataset will have similar characteristics, but not the same XML tags and attributes. Okay. Finally, there may be entries of a single character not included in the flag. Look for things not in the entries. So I'm not exactly sure what that means. We'll have to take a look at the data. We'll download the example file here. Let's go ahead and get it in the RunCode directory like that. And then it looks like I got a copy of it here as well. And so there's a bunch of junk in here. Let's go down. This is so with RunCode, it's nice because I get the expected output here, so I can try to work backwards to the flag. So RCN squiggly EXEMEL. So back up at the top, if we assume it's going to start in rough order, here's the R, fed. Here's the C inside fight. Here's the next flag item, N inside something. So I'm noticing a pattern here, and that is that there's these flag items, and inside of them there's usually it looks like 4 chars, and then another thing that I maybe can't predict. And that other thing is what has the flag in it. And that matches up with look for things not in the entries. So it's a little bit confusing because it says that these are single character that are not included, but these char things aren't always a single character. But let's make that assumption now. So that by that logic, we should be able to come down and pick any flag. Here's a flag item. It's got ignore the chars. Here's an E. Flag item. Ignore the chars. Here's an L. Those are characters. It's probably those two right there. So the theory is looking pretty good. Let's dive into Python and give it a shot. The first thing I need to do is figure out how do I parse Python in Parse XML in Python. So we're gonna have to Google for that. Here's the Python docs for this module. I'm gonna skip that for now because a lot of times it's got a ton of docs and not as many examples. Geeks for Geeks often gives examples. And this is looking more confusing than I wanted it to. Let's try a different one. Stack Overflow. This looks better. Cool. Okay, so let's do that. Let's grab this right here and do vim XML. What was the name of it? We'll just go with xml.py because I don't remember the exact name. Start with our shebang so that it runs. And then we'll need to import sys so we can get the command line, and then we'll paste in our stuff here. And then we'll parse in root, and let's just start with that little piece here. Python xml.py, and then we need to give it the XML. And ooh, that did not like it. No module named XML tree. XML is the package. That's strange. Oh, okay. This has to do with Python. This is a good mistake. It's one that I've made before and often wasted a lot of time on. The issue it's having here is the way that Python goes to load modules. And the first place it's going to look is in the current directory. And it just so happens when it goes in the current directory, it's going to look for an XML folder or an XML.py to try to load this stuff from. And it finds an XML.py. But then it tries to find an E-tree class or subset, and it's not in there, and so it's throwing the errors. And so what I need to do here is get out of this and move xml.py to XML. What's the name of the challenge? XML is the new hotness, is the next hotness. XML hotness.py. And we'll vim that. And now if I run Python, XML hotness, XML underscore that. Okay, no file, the file. Okay, of course, that makes sense. Let's get rid of that. We are not trying to open the file. We are trying to open sys.argv1. We'll run that again. And oops, I meant to do that with my -i to get an interactive prompt at the end. And now I can see root. Root's a thing. I can do a dir on root and see that. The other thing that might be kind of interesting, let's see, what do we, how do we loop over that? So we've got root.findAll and then a type bar type. Let's look at the, okay. So let's see, what if we want to find flag? So what if I do root.findAll flag? And that looks pretty good. Let's look at the length of that. 13. How long is my flag? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Boom. So that's got to be it. Right there, I have shown that I'm looping over and grabbing all those flag elements. So let's do that. We'll do a for loop for readability here. Flag in root.findAll flag. Let's see. So now we might want to, what are we going to do with each one? Come down here and we'll just create a variable x that now holds all those. So x sub 0 is one of those. How we need to extract out the children. Is there anything type tag.get? Nothing here really useful. Let's look at this. So this is where I'll use the dir command here real quick to see what my options are. And is there a way I can just list, oh, what about items? That might be good. Items? Function? No, there's no items there. Is there a children? What about just find all? What does find all do there? Can I give it a star? Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so now I've got my elements here. Element char, element fed, element char, element fed. So maybe I can do a loop, a list over this. So y for y in. Okay. So what I need to do is now if, let's see, how do I get I want to not have a char. So what I need to do is figure out how do I go from one of these XML elements to, in this case, it would be like the word flag. Do I have a name, text, a tag? I bet it's tag. What is tag? Flag. Perfect. Okay. So I figured out that when I have one of these XML elements, if the dot tag gives me the string that is the tag itself. So what I can do here is if y dot tag not equals star. If I assume there's always going to be one, I can do that. And now, what do I need out of that? The text? Is text one of the items? That's it. So I can go up here and do, let's see, flag equals that. Start with nothing. Oops. We'll do for item in, let's be really detailed here. For flag item in there, I want x for x in flag item dot find all. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but that works, so we're going to go for it. If x dot tag is not equal to char, and then we'll get 0 dot text, and that is the character. So we will do flag plus equals that, print flag. Boom, that worked. That worked nicely. I wonder if I can make this cleaner. I'm really resisting the urge to put this all into one list comprehension. In fact, I'll come back and look at that at the end. Let's go ahead and see if this solves though. This is a simple enough one that I'm just generating a flag. I don't need to really go through the process of the hash here. Looks easy enough. Let's just go ahead and submit and see if that worked. So we are going to push XML hotness.py. We're going to submit. And we'll see here in just a second when it runs if we get success. And we got success. We solved it. Sweet. Let's come here and just for the sake of, I don't think this is good coding practice, but I think we can do this in a single list comprehension. So let's do that. Now in here, we're going to start with for flag item in flag that. And so we will do that. For X input. So there's, oops, let's do, so now, right now we have a simple loop over, we don't have a simple loop. Oh, that's, ignore me for a second. Let's try this again. X for X in. There you go. I got the flag elements. And now what I really want to do is for Y in X dot find all star if Y dot tag not equal to char. Let's see if this works. And so what I really want over here is not X, but Y dot text. I cannot believe I got that right on the first try. So basically what I'm doing here is I have this loop X is each of the flag items. And so I can actually make this a little bit easier to read. Flag, for flag and that, and we'll do flag there. And now these are flag, Y is the flag children. So I'm looping over each flag item in the root of the XML. And then, just like above here, I'm then looping over each of those items, calling them Y. And I'm going to output y.text, but only if y.tag is not char. So I can come up here and do empty string.join around that. And that is the answer there. So that would be, I could come up here and replace that, replace that, replace that, replace that, and just do print all of this. And again, this is messy, but it's, it does it in 2 lines. Works just the same. So cool. Hope that was neat. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for sticking around till the end, and I will talk to you next time.